Eric Silverman here with Chris Lewis. And Chris, Syracuse with 2 games remaining in its regular season schedule. There are a lot of facets that are very important in this team, but some of them which truly define them. That starts out with the defense.
Definitely with the defense and the defensive leadership and the guys like Darrell Smith, Doug Hogue. Those are the true leaders of this defense. And a lot of people like to say lead by example. I like to say they're put up or shut up kind of leaders. They go out there, they play well on the field, and they demand that kind of play from their teammates. Those guys do a great job of that. SU has success on the road this season, and you don't have the crowd to fire your team up. It's up to the teammates to get themselves fired up, and SU does a great job of that, especially on the defensive end of the field.
Well, you mentioned Darrell Smith, one of 3 fifth-year seniors on this defense who has a big leadership role along with Anthony Perkins and Andrew Lewis. They were there through the entire Greg Robinson era and all that losing. The winning this year, that much more important to them. But as Doug Marrone touched on after the Rutgers game, that leadership segue, it didn't just start this year. It started through Art Jones last year, really passing along the torch over to Darrell Smith to lead this defense. And Syracuse, really, the defense has had to pick up the slack, at least the linebackers and the line, from the secondary early on in the year against Akron and Washington. They struggled. They could not tackle. They were not stopping bubble screens.
Especially against Washington, they couldn't stop the bubble screen. And you're right, the beginning of the year, going into the year, the secondary was supposed to be the weakness of this team. Now in Big East play, the pass defense has actually been better than the run defense, but a lot of that credit does go to the front 7, getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And a lot of those quarterbacks have been backup quarterbacks, but still give credit to the secondary. They've made plays when they're out there. And now switching from defense to offense, the running game for SU has been the anchor, has been the thing that gets SU going, especially on the ground game. Give it to DeLon Carter. He's getting that 20 carries plus per game. SU and Antoine Bailey mixing it up. Those 2 guys have been what SU goes to when they need points.
And the perfect example to show how important this running game is to Doug Marrone and the Orange is the final drive in the Rutgers game. Chris, arguably the most important drive of the season. And who does Doug Marrone go to? He goes to Antoine Bailey and DeLon Carter. The 2 of them, 48 combined yards on that final drive. That put them in a position to kick a field goal and win the game. So Doug Marrone, when it counts, he goes to the running game.
Most teams like to go to the pass in that situation, not SU. They stuck to the ground.
One of the reasons not going to the passing game has to be how inconsistent it is. Yes, there are a lot of options. When healthy, Van Schu, Alec Lemon, Marcus Sales even thrown into the mix. Aaron Weaver, after the first 2 games of the year, out for the year, so he's gone. Nick Provo has seen past the guys, but none of them have stepped up.
Yeah, and we're far enough into the season where we can evaluate Ryan Nassib this season. And while he makes great throws, there's some great throws he makes, especially in zone coverage, the way he's able to laser the ball in the middle of the field. But he struggles with that deep ball still, and he also struggles when he gets guys in his face, and especially when the offensive line fails to protect like they've done this season. So Ryan Nassib, a little bit of ups and downs in the SU passing game.
Well, one big help for him has been Antoine Bailey, who's been a big asset catching balls from the backfield. That was defining the Orange.